Hi Paul, you okay?
Yeah, good, that's better, mate. I don't know what happened there, mate, with the signal, but our signal's brilliant here normally.
No, don't worry. We'll just do it from scratch here. So just to let everybody know, we're joined by the UC MMA heavyweight Paul the Titan Taylor. So how's things with you, Paul?
Yeah, brilliant, mate. Just chilling out a little bit since my last fight a couple of weeks ago on UC MMA, so I'm just ready to get my start, ready to get back into training Monday. So just chilling out, really.
What's your record at the moment, Paul?
Right, my current record's 4 wins, 2 losses.
And am I right in saying you're on a 3-fight win streak at the moment as well?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. All on UC MMA, yeah.
And that's three, and they're all first round stoppages as well, aren't they?
Yeah, the first fight was doctor stoppage. Second fight was a KO, and the third fight was another doctor stoppage due to a severe cut. All in the first round.
Brilliant. So just to go back a little bit, what got you into mixed martial arts?
It's a bit of just by accident, really. It was a bit of a mad story. I was working the doors in Birmingham, and there was this. I worked with a fellow, another doorman, and he was always shadow boxing and messing around, and he looked impressive. He kept coming in with these black eyes, and he looked like he could throw a punch, and he kept saying, you should come along. And anyway, after about 6 months, I just sort of knowing this guy, I just sort of gave in. I went, okay, I'll come along then and see what it's all about. And I went there, and the trainer there, Robbo, I come away, but basically beat the crap out of me, really. I had a broken tooth, black eyes, and he says to the guy I was working with, he won't be back, little did you know, I'd absolutely loved it. I was back there the following week, and that's where it took off, really. He got me a fight about 8 weeks after I started training, a cage fight, MMA fight, and that was it. I lost, but I got hooked even more. I thought, right, I can't lose again. This is it now, and that's how it started for me, really. So.
Because there was quite a gap I noticed as well from your first fight to your second fight. So did you just kind of get your head down, focus on training, and obviously, get your skills better before you wanted to get back in there again?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I mean, I realised how unprepared I was when I fought my first fight. I didn't know how to deal with things. The ground. I didn't know about wrestling. I just went in there really thinking, I'm pretty good in my hands. I've got no boxing experience previous to that or anything. The first time I pushed the pad was at the age of 28. I underestimated it. I just thought, right, I'm going to go in there and steamroll everyone, and it wasn't to be. But yeah, that's why I gave it such a long gap, because I wanted to make sure that I got my skills up and that I didn't lose again, because I hated losing, so I couldn't see it again at me. So that's why, really.
There is obviously I've looked at your resume. Obviously, whenever we get somebody, I always like to try and do a little bit of research. And obviously you've fought 6 times, but there's obviously one name on your resume that stands out. Now I know it's not a fight you've won, and this is the last time we're going to talk about any of your defeats. But I've got to bring it up. How did you at 1-on-1 get a fight with someone as established as Jeff Monson?
Oh God, if I can count the amount of times that's been asked. Basically, I used to train with a guy called Chris Rice. I joined him after when I lost the first fight. I sort of joined in then, and he was getting me ready for my next fights. Anyway, I picked up the ground and the wrestling and all that, and the whole MMA, just everything. Really, I picked it up really fast, and this came about. I think Jeff's trainer tweeted that he's looking for a fight for Jeff. Jeff's manager tweeted that he's looking for a fight for Jeff in England. He's ready for any takers. And anyway, Jeff used to train at the gym where I trained at the time. Obviously, Jeff went back to America. And anyway, the gym owner still kept in touch with him. So what they've done, they rang Jeff personally and they said, look, we've got this guy. He's learned. He's very good. Don't underestimate him. Come here, have a fight with him. He wants to fight you. So that's how that fight come about. It was just that he used to train at that gym, and I still kept in touch with him, and it was just lucky, really. And Jeff said, sure, I'll come and fight this just the right place, right time, if you like. It was one of those situations, really.
And have you met Jeff away from the octagon as well?
No, I've not.
Okay.
The first time I met Jeff was on the night. You know, it was sort of unbelievable, really. I didn't really see him prior to the fight either. You know, I just sort of seen him in the cage, and that was my first sort of glance of him, really, when he was in the cage waiting for me to come in. But it was an unreal experience, I'll say that. So.
Well, we want to talk more about your win. So I know like I said, you're on a 3-fight win streak. Like we'll, if it's all right, we'll break down your fights because we can, want to try and learn more about you. So the last fight the fight you've just had, or you had in, was it October? Did you say?
Yeah, the 6th of October that was.
So about just over a week ago, wasn't it? So tell us who you were fighting, and then just kind of talk us through how the fight went.
Right, it was against Carl Kinslow. I knew he was a game opponent. I knew he had really good stand-up. People was telling me that he's on the boxing circuit, the unlicensed boxing or whatever around London. I heard he was durable, fit. So, but the thing is, I was due to fight on that date Ben Smith. So I trained primarily for a 5'8", whatever it is, 5'9", strong as you like, 18 stone, wrestler, ground and pound guy. So I had 2 weeks to go before the fight, and I took this fight with Calkins, knowing that he was a stand-up man. I was a bit worried because he didn't do much stand-up, obviously, for the guy I was going to fight, Ben Smith. I thought I'd only need sort of minimal hands for more wrestling. But anyway, getting back to the fight, it was a good fight. He was really tough. Everybody told me he was tough, and he was. He was a really tough guy. I don't know if you've seen. Did you see the fight yourself? Or?
Yeah, I've watched the video. I watched the video on Facebook.
I mean, just the highlights and stuff. I put a video on there, but the shots that I hit him with, the punches. The guy. It shows how tough he was. People didn't pick him up for nothing to me. That was right. He was a very durable guy. The thing is, I had a chest infection, which Ian Freeman on the commentary mentioned halfway through my fight, because I did look a bit tired, and truthfully, I was a bit tired. And I was glad, to be honest, when it ended, when it did. I'm not gonna lie and say that that it's I could have. I was winning easy and whatever. I was a little bit. I did feel fatigued because of my chest infection going in there with it. But I got the win. Not it's not a brilliant way to win on a doctor's stoppage, but I'll take a win and that's it. So, but I have learned a lesson from it. I won't be fighting with a chest infection again. I know that.
It does. So, I think anything like that takes it out. You really need to be as close to 100% as you can, I imagine.
Yeah, well, I've always believed that, because I've never really had a coach really behind me. I used to train with people and stuff like that. Until I moved up to Wigan now, when I'm training, but I haven't really had a full-time sort of dedicated coach. Beforehand, even if I got a little bit of a cough, I wouldn't fight. I was one of them. Everything had to be 100%. And I did pull out of a few fights as well because of it, because I was making the decisions myself. As I say, I used to believe that everything had to be 100%, but now people around me are always telling me, you can go in there. Everybody has got something wrong with them when they go in there. They've got an injury or whatever. So now I've got a team that's brilliant, and they sort of said, look, you go in there. You've done all the training. Just go and do it, but I've got to admit, I don't think I'll be going in there feeling like that again. Never, I don't think, because it was. I was a bit worried because I was in a bad way, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. I mean, the fight before that at UC MMA 28 was against. Is it Scott Seward?
Yeah, that was a Scott Seward one. Yeah.
And do you want to talk us through how that fight went and the build up and how you felt going into that, and then obviously talk us through the victory?
Yeah, Scott Seward, I met him on my previous fights, and I remember thinking about that guy when he was due to fight somebody else, that Matthew Manners. Scott Saywood was devastating. About 8 seconds he won his fight. I remember looking at the size of this guy in weigh-ins, and I was just thinking, Jesus, whoever has to face this guy, you know, I wouldn't like to be in their shoes, you know. And then anyway, I won my fight on that night against my first opponent I faced on UCMA. I won that, and then Dave said. Dave announced, you know, on the nights there and then after my victory, that you're fighting Scott Saywood, and I was like, oh right, okay then. Yeah. So anyway, I knew obviously, you know, I had them thoughts about him at weigh-ins and whatever else, but then, you know, I did say in the cage that night when Dave Barrett asked me, you know, who would you fight? I said it's up to Dave, and then Dave obviously gave me his name, and I accepted. I said, right, that's fine, you know. I'm in there to fight the heavyweights, and that's what I'll do, no matter how big they are. So anyway, I had 4 weeks, I think, to prepare for that. It was quite, you know, the next UCMMA from that one was quite, it wasn't that long, if I remember correctly. And I didn't really have a lot of time to prepare for him, but I got my head round it, and I knew I had a big challenge ahead of me. You know, all the sites, internet sites that was talking about it was all writing me off, and you know, I didn't, you know, in a lot of people's eyes, Scott's going to be too strong. So I went in there with all, you know, after reading all them and thinking, oh God, you know, I've got it against me, but I believe in myself, and I never believed I was going to lose. I always believed that somehow, I didn't know how because he was so big, I was going to win. But yeah, so he was one of them. It just all happened so fast. It was 30 seconds. I think the fight lasted, and all I remember is him coming in the way he has done with all of his fights, really hard and that. And I just let that left hook go, and I just seen him on the floor, and I thought, what the hell? I just carried on. I just done what I tried to do. I just hammer fisted him, and that won me the fight. But it was an unbelievable victory, to be honest. I never, you know, prior to the fight, you know, a lot of fighters, you know, they all talk about that, you know, they have visions of beating people in certain ways and dreams and good to daydreams, thinking, I never dreamed I was going to knock him out because he was such a big man. So it was a good victory for me. I really enjoyed that one, to be honest.
It sounds like it was. You know, when you obviously build up to a fight and you're reading stuff like that, and everyone's going to say, you're saying you've not got a chance, and you know this guy's going to be. How does it make you feel? Does it bring you down? Does it motivate you?
Even though I'm reading it and stuff, I'm not really thinking too deeply about it. I'm not really, you know, I don't let my emotions, I don't dwell on it. I don't sit there for days thinking I've got to face this big 6.5 foot man, you know, and he's much heavier than me, and I try not to think about it too much, you know. I mean, there's fighters out there that don't even look into all that stuff, you know, and they don't even look at people's, you know, anything on Facebook or anything like that. They just stay clear and just think, right, that's the man, that's the fight that he's fought in, and that's, you know, that's the fight, that's it. So, you know, and there's people out there that don't even look at fights that they've had, they just go in there, you know. But I don't really think much, and you know, about things. I have a look and I think, oh right, okay, and that's it really. I don't really think, oh, I've got to prove these wrong. Although it is nice after when you think, you know, oh, you know what happened. You know, he didn't win. You know, it was a nice. So that's always good. You know, after the fight, but you know, it is nice to be an underdog and to prove the doubters wrong after. I will say that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Now, your first win in UCMMA, which obviously was approximately a month before this fight, was Marion Russo. Do you want to talk us through that and tell us how that fight went?
Yeah, didn't really know a lot about Marion. I knew he had 8 fights, I think 4 wins at the time. I did know that he had a previous injury with his leg, and ultimately that's what stopped the fight in the end. But just getting back to it, with Marion, I didn't really know much about him. I didn't really care who I faced really. I just wanted to get on the UCMMA show. But the first time I was matched with him, I actually failed my medical, and so that was a bit of a disaster. I turned up on the night and for my medical and stuff, and even Dave O'Donnell just took a look at me and he said, "Look," he says, "you're wheezing, listen to your chest and stuff, and you look like death warmed up really. He said, we can't have you fighting like that. And I says, you're right. I says, you are right. So anyway, I was sent home. I had to go and face my fans and stuff like that. So anyway, the second time, I seen that he was looking for. I've lost where I am now.
You're talking about this coming back to fight Marion after the first fight was cancelled.
Yeah, that's it. It's all right. My mind went blank.
That's all right.
Yeah. So anyway, I came back to fight Marion again, which not many people know this. Right, I was asking Dave for a rematch with Marion. As soon as I was healed, about a week or 2 weeks later, I said, "Look, Dave, please get me on the next show. Please get me fighting this guy." And Dave said, "Look, I can't do it. We're fully booked." And he said, "I'll get you on at the end of the year." And I thought, what that really means, Dave, is hurrah, really. Honestly, that's what I really thought at the time. I thought, there's no way he'll have me back on, because I turned up with a chest infection and I failed my medical. And anyway, I sent him a text message saying, "Look, Dave, I'm not desperate to get a rematch with this guy." And also as well, Marion, looking on his Facebook, because we hooked up on Facebook and stuff and talking to each other. I did see after the fight that he was saying, "Oh, Paul Taylor bottled it basically," and blah blah blah. So I was like, "Oh right, okay then." And that's why I wanted a rematch with him so badly. Anyway, Dave said no. We're all booked. I've got all the funds are out there for the what we pay the fighters. We've got no money left. Blah blah blah. And I said, "Look, get me a rematch and I'll fight him for nothing. I'll come and fight on UC MMA." That's how badly I wanted to get on the show.
Yeah.
I said, "Get me a rematch and I'll do it for nothing." Anyway, about 2 weeks later, he says, "Do you still want that fight?" And I said, "Yeah, just get me on there, please. Just get me on there." And he said, "Right." He says, "We'll get you on there then." And he says, "And that'll be your way of making it up to me then." And I did, which I appreciated. And I did actually fight Marion for nothing on that fight. So that mind, not a lot of people know that. I don't mind telling you guys. But I wanted to prove what my worth really. And so I went on there. And he was another big guy, intimidating. Really, he was quite an intimidating big guy, to be honest, in shape. But he was the hardest. He was the hardest puncher I've ever felt in there so far. He was hitting my gloves. Honestly, I remember thinking at the time, I can't get hit by this guy. And that's why in my fight, I played it really safe. I was really evasive, and in the end, the same injury that's plagued him in his previous fights got him again, because he kicked me in the leg, and the same leg injury that he's been carrying, he finished the fight. So I didn't really finish it really with my strikes. He just he kicked me and collapsed really because his leg was broke. So again, that was a bit of a not really it was a bit of a hollow victory really, but it was still a victory. So that Marion fight really was. It was a bit of a revenge, really, for what he said. I know that doesn't sound too bad, but it was. I just wanted to get in there and fight him, and prove my worth to UCMMA, which I did do, and then Dave offered me, obviously, the fights from there. So.
That's brilliant. Obviously, the fight didn't play out the way you would have liked with the injury and whatever, but it was your foot in the door, wasn't it? And look where you've gone since then. Since that fight, you've fought another 2 times and had 2 more impressive wins.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I knew what I was what I thought was capable of and stuff, and I just wanted more chance. I've been on the smaller shows and stuff like that, and I've had semi-pro fights, and I fought on the local. Obviously, I haven't had loads of fights, but everything's always been local, and that show I thought, if I can get on there, if I can just win once, it'll be a really good achievement. And here I am now, on the same year. I've won three times on there. It's really good. I'm progressing really well. And
the irony was, you weren't supposed to fight to the end of the year, and you've already fought 3 times already, and you've still got another fight to come, haven't you?
Yeah, but it's not going to be on UCMMA next.
Oh, okay. I just want to ask you quickly about UCMMA, because it's fair to say that UCMMA is one of the biggest organisations in the UK. What are they like to work for, UCMMA? How have you enjoyed your experience with UCMMA?
Right, UCMMA, they've been fair as anything, honestly. They're really Dave O'Donnell, they're all really good people on there, and they do stick by the words as well. I mean, Dave said to me after I won the Saywood fight, well, he did actually say prior to that fight, if you get through this guy, if you beat this guy, we'll get you on the cage fighter show. And he was good to his word, you know. He said, right, we'll get you on the show next month, and he gave me a 30-minute interview on Sky Sports, to tell my story, and, just so the fans could, hear a little bit about me and stuff. And, so he has, they treat you well. And he said to me at the start, before I signed anything, he said, look, we don't pay the greaties, this and that, but he said, I'll get you exposure, and, if you're good enough where you can get in the UFC, that you'll have enough exposure, or Bellator, or, these bigger organisations.
Yeah.
We'll have enough coverage of you. We'll have this, we'll have that, and we'll make a good case for you going on there, So, and what I like about Dave as well, he's all for his fighters moving on, if there's no hard feelings, he's even, I remember with Jimmy Manuel and people like that, he says Jimmy's going to the UFC, he's announced it in front of everybody, and he announced it on his sites, on his Facebook, on his Twitter, that this fighter's gone, he's proud of, and he's good, a lot of people, they just say, he's like annoying, he's like, in his cockney voice, and all this, but he is, honestly, he's a brilliant guy, and a brilliant guy to fight on his shows as well. He really is, he looks after you.
I think you have to take people as you find. Obviously, it sounds like he's done good by you. What was it like being on Sky Sports?
What do you mean with my fighting or the
interview?
interview?
The interview, sorry.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good experience. I had to go to London for it, into the studios there. And it was all very quick, really. It was only, just one take. It wasn't, like a morning's worth. I thought it'd be like, you go in there and have to load the takes on you. But it's literally the length of the show. It really is. You just stop starting as the questions are asked, and then that's it. It was a good experience, but it was weird seeing myself on there. When it was aired, I was like, as if I'm on TV. It's sort of. That's why I've had a brilliant year this year with coverage, and stuff. I think that's why I've got my name out there a bit more now. Because again, it's all down to Dave O'Donnell. I can't thank him enough. He's really helped me. Be seen, if you like, and getting my name out there. So I can't thank him enough.
I think that's brilliant, but you got to remember, he's only getting your name out there if your name's worth getting out there, and I think you've got to give yourself some credit for the hard work you've put in and for the fights you've won this year as well.
Thank you, Ray. That's nice of you to say. So yeah, truth be known, I'm pretty proud of myself. 3 fights on that show. And the guys I fought wasn't no mugs either. There wasn't, should we say, these typical swinging heavyweights. They all had, really good skills, really good tidy skills. So it's not like I beat 3 bums. So it's just setting me up nicely for when I do, face top competition, which I'm looking forward to now. I'm looking forward to that next step of competition.
We'll talk a little bit about your next fight then. Do you know, obviously, who it's with, and as in what promotion it's with, and when it is, and who you'll be fighting yet?
Right, I only got the contracts sent over, yesterday, I think, the proper contract with the name, because obviously I think they've been trying to get me an opponents and stuff, because I think that had me in mind to go on there in the first place, and then they're just trying to match me up. But I haven't really got a name at the moment, or anything like that. And even, I know this sounds really bad, but even the I think it's I know it's in Southend.
Yeah.
I know it's in Southend, UCC or something like that. But I'm not even that sure. I know it sounds bad. I haven't even looked at the contract yet to find it, to fully have a look at everything. So I do apologise.
No, that's all right. That's all right. And am I right in saying it's just before Christmas?
Yeah, it's the 22nd of December.
So
yeah, hopefully I won't be getting too many black eyes for the Christmas albums.
No, we'll see a win just to see the year out, and then you can relax then for Christmas.
That'll be fantastic. That'll be the perfect year for me then. 4 good wins and and like you say, I can just chill out then for Christmas. I've got 2 children, so I can spend some valuable time with them, and then look at for my next fights, which I've heard a few whispers what can happen for me next year, who might be facing and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have a good year next year where I'm really gonna test myself. So it's gonna be a good year.
Well,
hopefully, again.
I think this year has been brilliant. I bet you, if I'd spoke to you 12 months ago, I bet you couldn't imagine being where you are now 12 months later with the way this year's gone.
No, definitely not. I'd agree with you there. I was, even when I fought Marion, and I knew on that night when I beat Marion that I was going to have another one a month after. I was thinking if I could win 2 fights in virtually a month on UFC MMA, wow, what I'll do to be able to do that. And when I've done it, I was like, I sat down and I thought, God, I remember how I was thinking, about them 2 fights and how amazing it would be, and I've actually done it. And even the Cole Kinslow fight, I was thinking the same thing. If I could win 3, that would just be awesome. It'd just be a perfect year. And here I am. It's all unbelievable. And one thing I've noticed with MMA as well is you can progress really quickly, and you can get your fans. Your fan base. You can honestly, you get so many more people following you. Like each fight I've had like loads more fans added, loads more fans. And encouragement messages of people. So you can progress fast in this if you win. It's just like anything really. If you win, then you're going to go forward, aren't you? In anything you do. So
yeah, it is. It's brilliant. Right, before we let you go, I just want to kind of predict, move yourself forward a little bit of a predictor. Where ideally would you like to see yourself in 3 years within MMA?
Right, 3 years. That's too far ahead for me, if I'm being honest.
Okay, no, that's fine. You tell me how far ahead you're thinking then. Maybe at 12 months' time. Where would you like to see yourself in 12 months?
Right, I'm thinking 12 months' time, and I wouldn't have believed this, but I do now with how fast my career's gone on so far, how far I've progressed. I really, really want to be in the UFC within 12 months. That's the dream anyway. That's the ambition now for me to try and, because I'm 32 now. I mean, people say, it's not that old for MMA, and really because I've not used my body, I haven't trained for years to fight. I've still got a fresh body. Even though I'm 28, I started when I was 28, you see, so I haven't got years and years of wear on my body. So, if I did get in the UFC in the next 12 months, I like to think that, I could still train at a certain level, to full capacity of what my body can do. Whereas a lot of people are hindered by their body, where it's worn or whatever, and they get in the UFC and they're injured to hell and they can't train and they want to train. But I want to get into the UFC and be able to train to my fullest and hopefully do really well. I just want to. That's the dream anyway. The UFC, hopefully, in the next 12 months.
I think it's fair to say that the world, as they say, the world is your oyster. I mean, there's nothing to stop you from achieving that, and you've had a fantastic year this year. Before we let you go, then, just want to give you a chance to have a shout out to any friends, family, sponsors, and also let people know about your Facebook and your Twitter as well.
Right, okay then. I'm fairly new to Twitter, so I can't say too much about it. It's set up by my brother on one of those. I've been on Facebook for the last couple of years, but anyway, I'd like to thank all my sponsors, mainly the guys that look after me on a weekly sort of basis. I've got Print Rights, who have been fantastic, look after me. PDJ Building, Darren's been awesome, and also Sapphire Security. He's looked after me also, Keith. Just my fans, everybody, they're amazing the way, I've built it up, and they're all really supportive of me. And lastly, I'd just like to thank my coach, Darren Morris, of ISW, and the owners of Power Mech Gym, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be as far down as I am now with I feel like I've really progressed. I really feel like my skills, have really have really come on since starting there. But yeah, Darren Morris and all them lads down there have been awesome. So that's it really. And also I'd like to thank Ian Freeman as well for getting me on the UCMMA and, you know, well, sort of recommending me after I trained down his place. So yeah, that's it really. Also, obviously my family, my girlfriend and my 2 kids who stick behind me, and you know they're behind me with everything. So I appreciate that as well. So that's it really, mate.
Brilliant. Well, we really appreciate you giving us your time today, Paul. So thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No problem. Thanks very much for the interview. I appreciate that as well. Thank you.